So I'm going to talk a little bit louder and hope, or a little bit quieter, but I'm not even seeing the green dots. So, a moment here. I feel slightly bad. I've just been out and about, and I did a very small amount in the kitchen when I got home, and then put some laundry in. But he wouldn't have necessarily noticed that. And our dog, we keep him in a. He likes to just sleep in there while we're gone, but we keep him kind of contained so that, oh wow, instant like, so that he doesn't get into things and chew things and stuff. He's still kind of a puppy and stuff. And so, well, as instant as you can get him in. So hopefully you can hear me. I mean, dogs have really good ears, so I think I probably actually can't avoid him hearing me. So yes, there's a couple of questions in the heading, and I could have waited, but oh, the viewer left you later. There's a technical glitch because it looked like they were going to stay for a moment there. There's a couple of questions in the heading. What prompted this? And I could have waited, but I wanted to do it while thoughts were kind of in my head, although I also have other things that I'm kind of that can jog them. But that was really weird. They were like, you know what? Actually, I really would like to watch this now, but I'll have to watch it later. But they put a like, so that was nice. Or maybe it was, I don't know. Actually, that's something else I just really quickly want to do. And if she remembers that I said I just wanted to know the day before, great. If she doesn't, also fine. So, okay, good. She understands that. That's weird because I thought he was already in it. So, one thing I hope I have actually solved. So, the first title was about, or the first part of the title is about the, and I just wanted to do this, get it done, like I say, was about a support group. I tried to go to one this morning. Our voicemail is full, but usually it's on, it just said the highest number it can go to. And it was weird, actually. I said, I'll get home and probably have a voicemail from you. And she says, hopefully not. But then she was like totally, saying, see you next week or 2 weeks. That's the other thing. This particular group is every 2 weeks. And if they miss one, they don't just reschedule it. Like with many things, I think that there's a need for more. And so, and it was also a little bit confusing. I couldn't tell whether she was saying that there was one other person and they called in sick or whatever, or if it was the leader that called in sick, but it certainly seemed pretty quiet there other than her on the phone. So, and I was able to sit there and kind of relax a bit, and then I was able to pick up my sandwich. They had to make it. They had a whole bunch of them at the bakery, but they weren't the kind that I had kind of ordered for pickup for 12:30, but it was early by like 2 hours. But they made it for me, and I got not suckered into, but I bought a quiche. And she first selected one that had a lot of meat on the top, and I asked for one with a little less. We don't have to get hugely into that topic, but it does kind of stem to another one. So yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to make this because, well, it's almost 11, but the dog's being quiet so far, and I'm sure he's heard me. But I guess sometimes I do this first and then get him, but when I go out, but which isn't often, but I feel like I also don't. But basically, So, yeah, I was just wondering, like, I was thinking of maybe, probably because this is YouTube, probably not in person. Well, yeah, probably not in person, but you could at least see me. I might be interested in having a co-facilitator, and we could see about the bring on camera option. But like with the live chat, it seems to only display if you are looking at the cell phone. And the particular cell phone that we have that we can do it with at the moment has really bad connectivity. Sometimes it's good, or sometimes it doesn't take many tries, but it's doesn't stay connected. It's secondhand, it's old, but we have to make do for now. But so yeah, um, I'm wondering what people would like in a support group, and honestly, in a general sense, because I could cover a few bases there. And kind of goes with the previous video too. So this is take. Says connection is unstable. Okay, there we go. So that was, I guess, one thing. Kind of obvious in the title, but that's just kind of saying a little bit more on it. The other thing was kind of about doing an excerpt of something I'm working on. And I've done one so far. It's been a number of weeks, and I'm thinking of maybe doing another one. So yeah, these would be kind of ongoing topics. Oh yeah, I picked up some very interesting paraphernalia, whatever you want to call it, from the place I was at. I do and don't want to be super obvious, but it could be anything that I'm talking about. But this interesting flip book, which is actually, yes, it is in French completely. I know all kinds of stuff around here, but it might not be kosher around here. But interesting. I don't know how much I can really only talk about this topic as much as this, and I guess basic general knowledge would suffice. And again, with this channel, for those that don't know, I'm tuning in afterwards. Nobody's here at the moment. It's not censored. There's no filter, but I'm upfront about it as best as I can be. So it's kind of like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there was an English one. There was one that had, I thought, a different front on it. Still, using my wording carefully, opposite gendered couples. But the pictures are still, well, no, actually, like I said, I think it was different. But anyway, one of the things I picked up, just because I'm really surprised they have it there, and I'm surprised that this is a thing, it says safer crystal meth smoking. So that's a thing, that it's safe. Okay, educate me. And this is staying healthy behind the walls, tattooing, piercings, and you. If that's something you might want me to read about and for us to talk about. I did actually in the video. I talked a little bit about piercings in the video recently about a troubled soul, and it's just she actually, I don't think, had a lot of tattoos or piercings, but she did have one, and it kind of came up in the conversation. Talk more about that later. I'm not exactly sure what this is. It kind of spoke to me when I took it. I guess I kind of knew this. It's like it's not being used in clinical settings for the low price of $5,000, but remains realized for those who can't afford it, which I would think would be most people. I understand this whole thing down here about treating everyone with dignity and kindness. Um, but, and I understand kind of also the area that they're in. The only difference between crack and cocaine is baking soda. Are you serious? So, okay. I don't think I'm going to cover everything. The dog is being good, and I'm mostly comfortable up here. But I guess I didn't let myself come down from being out for very long, being out and about. And it didn't take a lot out of me. So, um, there's one other thing. I may have found someone else, a couple people possibly talk to about it, but that doesn't mean I can't hear. I have a lot of resource materials which could be helpful to talk about. I don't want to say anything bad about the place, about two places, both the places I was at today, because they are very good. But one of the places, it said something about, or I asked about something that I found out about that was to be starting tomorrow, actually. And I actually could have actually contributed one additional thing to it, but I don't think she would have been the person to ask. Nice as she was, she just didn't give that vibe that she would be. But there's two locations for this agency, and I guess we're going to make that so long. Hopefully, it's good enough for her. There's two locations, and and it said the one that I was at, which is a bit easier for me to get to anyway. I don't know why I need a corner sandwich, and I asked about it, and she says that's at the other location. I said, oh, and I know that she was in the middle of making a bunch of phone calls about people's reminders or whatever. And even though there's part of me that really wanted to help, that's her job. I think she's a paid employee, and it wasn't like it was otherwise that busy. So whatever. But and I do think that maybe that group. I want to save that actually to mention. I don't want to forget to do it though. I do think that maybe she was meaning that there was only one other person in the group. I mean, I was at a workshop there a while back, and it was a full room. Possibly kind of part of it made me a little heavy. Like there was probably 12, I think, 12 people. So, but yeah, I'm not sure. It is now becoming summer and spring, but I don't really know why that is the case. But they are in a kind of rough area, and it is a lot of women that work there. So I don't know, and they also do, like I say, somewhat cater to people with drug addictions. I mean, any place should because, well, for the most part, because it's just such a big demographic. I'm not like saying that businesses should allow people to come and shoot up in their business, that way. Well, anyway, my mind went in the gutter, but no, really, in any way though, right? Sorry, but like seriously, sorry, I guess it was just the phrasing, the wording, but nobody's hearing it now anyway. So, but basically, and then also they do have items. I don't know. It's just they don't want just anybody walking in. That's clear because they have a. It's weird. They have a camera thingy on their desk. Meanwhile, it's right next to the clear door, which they can look at and see the person. And you have to buzz in, and so I don't even like. She was kind of around the corner a little bit though, because in the other seat, and I don't think she really saw me. And I didn't say much. I said I'm here for a group, and then I came in, and she right away said, and I didn't hear that time either. And she said, "Is it?" And said my name, and so that does make me think that there might actually have only been one other person registered, and so man, if she never went to it, my friend that passed of this condition, I mean, maybe spiritually, but I mean, I wish that she could be there, or that I was in contact with some of her family. Like I only really knew. I mean, this is gonna be very obvious, but the person left, whatever. I only really knew the sister, and I still have some mixed feelings about something that happened, and maybe she does too. I don't know. Ray can say what she wants to say and wants to hope about that situation, but ultimately, she's not the one that's feeling the feelings, I guess. Although they were so close that, if I could get her to truly believe, and maybe by seeing McDonald, that her sister, you know, one wants me to have that number I asked for, and uh, two, that she should forgive me if she does, or isn't wanting to, then that would be great. So yes, while I'm talking, do feel free. We have two people that have been here for a couple minutes. Do feel free to answer the question about the support group thing. And what I'm wanting to offer is doing it on YouTube here, because I'm mentioning it on YouTube, and I think unless you happen to be local to me, which would be, I mean, I'm thinking of a performance group I've been in. I'm still in it, but I don't do much. Nobody does. Some people do. And in fact, some members have met each other. I've seen some videos recently where people that I don't think were in the same states have, because it started during the pandemic. Um, but and I remember there was one person that was local that saw one of our postings, and she had I don't know if I want to say this because I don't want to disturb anybody, like with the thought of it, but she had a hat on that was kind of disturbing. Anywho, point of the matter being, it's most likely going to be offered on YouTube. So what would you like from a support group? And interestingly, yeah, if there was only the one other person, then that does mean more opportunity possibly to talk. I don't think they'd cancel it if there was two. I hope they wouldn't. But believe it or not, if you've ever seen this channel before, I can talk and get going on topics. But I don't want to be overwhelmed by too many people in person, and such a thing. But I guess on this theme, I don't know if I have a whole lot to say. I mean, if you have questions about it, or like I have some paperwork, most of it's downstairs, I guess, but there's some up here. But it's kind of like I'm a newbie in some ways, but on some of the other topics that we could do support groups on, based on such as the topics in the previous video, and actually a lot of the other videos, if you want to say channel, like there's just so much. Also, I just want to say that if one of our viewers is Ryan H, and you're hesitant to comment because you don't know what happened yesterday, the device it's not very tightly plugged in, and it apparently came out or wasn't plugged in when I came upstairs with it, but I'm pretty sure it was. Can't believe the dog's being so good and the other one's so quiet. And the device died. And I was quite worried because at first it said locking, and I thought, and this is a shared device, but all was good, and here we are. What I want to do next is, so like I say, put in the comments your ideas about support groups. There's two things I want to do, and I'm not actually sure which aside from talking about that, which I want to do first. So maybe our two viewers who have been here for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I appreciate that a lot, can pick for me, and then I'll shut up and let you maybe work on a comment. One of the other things I want to do in this is, and I don't know how much, and if you're interested, I can also paste in the comments a video where I don't remember if there was anything else in it, or if I just kind of did 2 runs of it, where I did a scene for something I'm working on, which is actually this project. And I was thinking I might do another one. And part of the reason is because we have a theater festival here, and they've already taken all the submissions for this year. They do start kind of in the winter. I don't know if it's of the same year or early the next year. taking new ones, and it's randomized. They use one of those bingo roller thingies, and they just pull them out, which is why you get a bit of everything, which, a lot of people probably like that. There are some things I think shouldn't be in it, but, I'm not picky, but there is some content that I just think is, I guess, less kosher, is what I could say. There's a community center near us that it's hard to get booked with. Like, this is a shared channel. Even Glenn was saying that, and I'm not sure what he was trying to book, but it's in walking distance, and we don't drive. There's no stage. I don't know if there needs to be, or a sound system. And the cost. We'd have to consider the cost. And yeah, I'd wanted to run an open mic there for a while. There's mixed feelings about it for one reason, unfortunately. But other than that, it's like, yeah, it's just, I remember I kind of did make some progress. I was waiting to hear back from somebody. She'd made a note to contact me back. Never did. And at first I kind of, that sat with me and I wasn't happy about it. But then I kind of did, I don't remember how, but I found a way to look past it. But still hard to reach. Still the other kind of mixed feeling. So I don't know. And the other place, I would only need to go there once or twice. I used to go to open mics there. The person that I'd be booking with, I do not know. However, she knows that I'm familiar with the open mic night thing. It's been a long time, and I don't know if she's been. I can't see why she wouldn't, but maybe she's got a busy life outside of work. I think sometimes she works from home and she might only work part-time, but and so basically what they told me is that the fees have went up to $100 and there would be an insurance fee. And I can't figure that out. She already knew I was low income. And the two people oddly just left at the same time, and you were here for about 10 minutes. So I don't know if that was an intentional leave or a technical issue, but and I don't mean for this to sound weird, and it varies. It does vary, but it is kind of rare that people, it's not rare that they come and go at the same time sometimes. And maybe my eyes just didn't notice that it was just a few seconds apart. Maybe one saw one go and they said, yeah, and it inspired. I don't know. It's weird, man, but whatever. I'm trying not to pay as much attention to that, but I'm curious. Now, I do feel bad, though. The dog knows that I've gotten back home and haven't been here because it was quiet. And it's probably thinking, oh, he's choosing his device that he likes to talk into before me, which, of course, isn't entirely the case. I can make it that out later. Now, I know I kind of wanted some input as to what to talk about out of these two items. There was a third thing that briefly crossed my mind. What was it? I don't know. Anywho, and I'm sorry if I'm disappointing people that this one, even though one of the specific things that I mentioned was diabetes, I got home not long ago, like you say. I want to kind of have lunch soon, visit with our dog, and maybe try and plan, some things I want to bring up, but I also want to cater it to what people want to talk about too. So put that in the comments too, yeah, appreciate it. A bit demotivating that those people seem to be a bit interested, and then they, yeah, I don't know. But also kind of motivating within the first couple of minutes. I got a like, not somebody who stuck around, but now but you know what? Even though it might be hard to debut this in person, unfortunately, and it was the same problem with the last one I did actually a few years back. But also there was more casting there was more roles in it, and we ended up having to double up between me, Glenn, and one other person. So, it it is showing online right now, so I think I'm going to send them. And it hasn't sent completely through yet. So the viewer that just tuned in, and I haven't invited her to this one yet, but isn't that person? No, sorry, that one I can almost understand. I almost think that they may have thought I said I haven't invited you uh, to come in here. So go away, kind of thing. No, I wasn't doing that. So hopefully they'll come back and in fact, again, it might not show right now, but I'll maybe try and remember to put it afterwards. So next couple things, and you know what? Honestly, this one thing I might not do right now because I'm waiting to see if I get a call back that will hopefully kind of help. Well, that's ironic. I had a righto, not a typo, but a righto on this paper. I meant show, I wrote see. Will I see the show debut some way? I should show it, kind of thing. But yeah, I left a message. I don't have a lot of living or local family. And yeah, people that have seen the channel before know that I have an ability. I don't experience it when I'm out very much, though. And that's because I'm taking in everything else, or a lot of other things that are going in around me, and maybe have other things on my mind, and maybe, like my loved ones and the other ones, they're more likely to do it when they think they can reach their loved one. Well, but that being said, well, yeah, no, take that back because that should be obvious then. But it's not that I haven't seen ones that do that, like in videos. But as far as my own loved ones, though, I think that they know that Well, I do see signs and symbols, or every now and then. I guess I do. It's true, but I don't go up to people randomly and introduce it and go into it that way. Yet. I mean, I'm planning to attend a grief group in a little while, and I'm not sure if something like that's going to happen. And I feel mixed. It's interesting. They also have a counselor at this place, and when the group wasn't happening, nothing else was really happening there except, we're making reminder calls, like you say. I almost thought of asking to talk to a counselor, but I was not feeling a little disappointed, sure, but not really feeling in duress. And as I was walking home, I thought, well, like about losing my friend, perhaps, to this condition. And I thought, with the channeling and such, and the movies that she showed me not long after too, like right around the funeral, not long after at all, I'm thinking that was good enough, and I mean that's good for me. That's doing it. So it's really the connection and it's the supporting others, which is why I think I want to go. And to have something to do. And yeah. I don't know if they'll be coming in the afternoon, that's the thing. And I don't have anything on other days. It's going to be rainy, and it might perk up my day. But today was lovely. So, I mean, I stopped at a bakery. All things considered, it was a little cool when I first left, but it warmed up quickly as I knew it would. And next weekend's really warm. Definitely, it's almost like summer now. I mean, we've hardly had a spring yet, but so it was nice to get out for a bit. But so I think I'm going to preview this. The other topic, I don't know if I need to. I kind of want to, but it might save my energy. I might do it in its own video. And in essence, I kind of have, but it's been a while. There's some additional feelings on the topic of homelessness and being there for each other. In the meantime, we have nobody watching, but I think I'm going to do this. Whoops. I think I'm going to quickly run through this, and then I'll just give the dog lots of cuddles and stuff afterwards, and hopefully he won't eat me. Ignoring him when I got home for almost 45 minutes. So this is how the show will start, or the performance. This says, please, this is for the audience. Says, please cheer. Yay, Glenn, woo, yeah, woo, woo. Those kind of things. Right from the beginning. Awkward, but there's a reason. Maybe on a table I'll have that wooden sign. Hopefully I can find it. If I'm doing this on my own timeline, I don't have to find it for the festival. But I suppose they probably will figure it's true. And also, I can debut it online. I can try and find somewhere to do it that's affordable. So I should still work on it, even if that just means running through the material a bit by myself and with Glenn. It's a shared channel. Otherwise, we'd have to make up this room in a bit of a set, or a room, but that would give, a different vibe than the usual. So that might intrigue, because I know that there was a couple of things that intrigued one of the people that came in and commented a little bit during yesterday's, was that thing and the thing I was wearing, which I terrible on that. But so yes, like I said, I don't have a whole lot else to say about the support group topics. I mean, I could think of stuff, but I'd rather just hear people go from there. Of course, it would mean some people would have to feel vulnerable, but don't they do that when they're talking on things online anyway? I mean, yeah, sometimes it's not an option. And that's the thing. Like I say, the live chat, I can't get it to show anyway, so it would only be during then. And people would be listening to me and such. And if you say don't say my name, well, that's the thing, is I may or may not read the name out loud, but I can try and tell myself not to do that, or to ask do you mind if we mention your name, and then I can maybe do it slightly out of sequence so people don't. I don't know, something like that. Like as far as read the thing or not read it out loud. Aren't I thoughtful and considerate? But anyway, so the cheering, such and such. Woohoo! Woo, woo, yay, Glenn! Woohoo! It's what I heard almost every week, sometimes twice. Karaoke. Just trying to make sense of my writing. I mean, that's the other thing. So that's another reason to put it here too, I guess, too. So I'm going to skip whatever that's about for now. Many did, and many should truly listen. Observers, others even, at parties, clubs, they may be going through times of people there might be feeling unheard or unseen. They may not want that. I don't know why my cousin Dorothy is mentioned on there, but essentially what I want that scene to look at, and I don't remember if there was anything else with it, but all I can remember otherwise is that there's some songs. Is maybe I'd have a pre-recorded song playing, and then maybe I'd also play one. Like maybe what I could do actually is show it. Okay, I just thought of something. that the right group? Yeah. In search of a female. I don't know if I'm ever going to get race. I'm starting to see this, and like I said, I don't remember having a lot to it, but I'm starting to see it. And what I'm kind of thinking, and I'm curious what you think of the sounds of this, is it's so ironic we're sticking underneath that, and then the form is there'd be a made up song. We might even, I'll see if this person even songwrites maybe, and it would be about and I might need some lyric ideas. Feel free to put them below. I could credit you in the program or whatever. So when I clicked edit saved, and it posted without any problem. That came in runs this way. Okay, hopefully that won't look weird. I would just copy the text, and it didn't know if I did it once, so I tried it again. Anyway, it would be about supporting a friend, supporting strangers, perhaps. I mean, part of it was her job. She was supposed to make people feel welcome in the environment and included and participating. But there are possibly some people that did the same kind of job that weren't as good at that. And it's one of the things that I miss about her is how inclusive she was and how just kind and sweet she was, But I don't have an instrument up here, and that's where I have my luck sometimes, and where I can usually make it out better when I look back than in print. But I'm thinking something to the effect of you shouldn't hide your truth and love inside. You shouldn't hide your talents inside. Da, 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 da. That might not be the same as you shouldn't hide. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. It doesn't even have to be a long song. And then it can show me, show me, should I put this back? Oh, maybe I should, right. And then it could be like two originals side by side in the same scene, but almost seeming separate, perhaps. And then I can, be sitting or standing and just kind of play and say, you all show me love, and I remember her for that. Thanks from above for the cheers and the claps. I love my angels. Up above. Thanks for showing a performer some love. Something like that. And he could be drumming because I'm hearing a drum, right? And then I feel like, as morbid as it is, know me sometimes, right? We all die. That's the thing. I feel like I'd want to do a little bit about death. Just general, which would cover my angels in general. And then so I'm making some progress. I think it's coming from me, not that spirit, but they might be here. Happy about it, of course. And then the internet drops again. How bizarre. Doo-doo-doo. How bizarre. How bizarre. And then it just magically comes back later. And Bell 620, I think I've seen that before. I could go every time I look around, but I don't know if I like the bizarre association with it. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Every time I look around, you're in my place. My telepathy. And that first part, yeah, I'm hoping for it to kind of come across as my female friend singing it to me. You know, I don't have her singing that, and I don't know how easily I'd find footage, and I don't know if I should use it if I found it. So asking is hopefully where it's at. I'm going to see if I hear from my worker in the next few days about a certain topic, but I know I mentioned that I needed advice about something here that would comment underneath. And I might use them because there is a part of me that wants to be anonymous here on this channel. But I'm also doing it, and if anybody's still watching at this point, because I have both devices. The one doesn't record audio, the other one, and the app has expired on the other one, and I can't seem to update it. But also, I don't have enough subscribers to be able to go live. So then I have to upload it the long and annoying way, and have to remember my space instead of using the data, the site's data storage. And it's just so much easier to do it this way. So we live together. He lets me do it. He's happy that I'm keeping the channel active, and it's good. But yeah, I do kind of want to be mostly anonymous. So have those sent through? They don't look like they have, but some of them. So I want to go see the dog soon and get downstairs, and I have a really beautiful sandwich waiting for me. Maybe I'll try and take a picture and put it underneath or something, if I can figure that out. And speaking of, there is this picture I've shared. But yeah, I'm very excited about some things coming up, and I look forward to them getting here soon and not having to be up too late. What's that with the bear picture? There's two of them. What table is that? I don't know if that's here. And the big fan, that looks like a different configuration. I'm not sure. It's an old desk or something. Anyway, the screenshot. So that's all for now. I did do a shorter one. Feel free to check it out if you're short on time. But if you're hearing me say that now, then and nobody's here at the moment, then you want to make it an even hour? Because it probably would be about that. But yes, I'm glad I added a bit more ideas there, and then I'm just going to sing. So I'm going to sing possibly Rock Mama, and one or two other songs. And I also want to time it. And I would love to do it with an audience. I really would, like an in-person audience. So I think what I'll do before I book anywhere, because I want to make a profit, I just don't want to be paying but you know what? Some is better than none. I don't want it to only cover the venue and me not get anything from it. Although I would get the opportunity to perform it, and that would be nice. But we'd have to possibly figure out a ride. Yes, I'd want to see how many people could come, and then if we can't secure a venue, then we just say it's debuting online. Here's the link. We'll be posting it in the event page. And that's the best we can do, I think. So, gonna save my energy. I might be having somebody stop, but I potentially two. I could have changed the other plan too, but I don't know. I guess I'd rather make it say, but still, still want to do the healing thing too. So I mean, I just know that he's interested. We don't want to lie. I don't know. I don't mind having him, but it's we'll see. So, yeah. And I don't know if we want to say yes to both of them because we don't want them both here at the same time necessarily. Okay, so I'm wrapping this up. I feel it was mostly productive. I was really hoping when two people were staying for a while that they might have said something or at least like, but whatever. And yeah. Between that and going out and doing a shorter podcast earlier, I think that's all I have in me right now. As far as podcasting and kind of energy in general. Gonna veg out on my phone for a bit and have a lovely lunch. And be thankful. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.